Hello everyone, welcome to day one of Dominion previews. Let's jump right into it. I was working on a lot of new games in 2019 and going to restaurants and walking down the sideways within 6 feet of strangers without a care in the world. The pandemic hit and everything stopped. It turns out I can get much work done on games that are never played. Then I started playing Dominion with game Natalie 2020, and well, now there's an expansion coming out. It's a lesson for us all. Allies feels to me like more Dominion, more than most sets. There are a lot of cards that could go in any set. Part of that is how it came to be. I just made a bunch of cards, and it does have some mechanics, and I'm leading with the allies themselves. Allies are landscape cards that tell you how a favor token can be used. Okay, so you get favor tokens, and the landscape allies work with the favor token. Favor tokens are produced by liaisons. In games with liaisons, I don't know how to pronounce that. You put out a single ally, even with multiple liaisons. Okay, so if you have a card with this liaison type, you for sure have to put out one ally, and I guess uh, not more than one ally. And so this token, that's kind of sweet. The cards do something else every game then. There are 23 allies in their own separate deck, like which is like having 23 kinds of new tokens. Yeah, only we use the coin tokens for all of them and put them on a mat. Here's some liaisons out of the total 9 in the sets. So there's 9 of them. Make them a bit bigger. So underling, +1 card, +1 action, +1 favor. I mean, that's like the standard cantrip thing, and whatever else the allies will do, right? I can't really tell anything about that. I need to make this window smaller. Bauble. Choose, so that's the treasure liaison. Choose 2 different options. +1 buy, +1 coin, +1 favor. This turn, when you gain a card, you may put it onto your deck. So you can, that's like the treasure pawn, huh? You can, but it's a lot better because it doesn't cost an action. You can take the buy coin, or you take either buy favor, coin favor. And then, when you gain a card, you may put it onto your deck. That's like the fixed royal seal, just for 2 now, and you have even a lot of options when you play it. I think like all of these cards you can't evaluate if you don't know what the favor does, what the ally is. Trash a card from your hand, broker. Trash a card from your hand and choose one. +1 card per 1 it costs, or +1 action per 1 it costs, or +1 coin per 1 it costs, or +1 favor per 1 it costs. So that's the ultimate mix of apprentice, scavenger, forge, scrap. You can get a bunch of a thing if you trash an expensive card, but only this one thing. Like apprentice also gives the action, so it's non-terminal draw. This one won't be. Salvager also gives a buy, so you can use the coins. Here you really only get one of bunch of a bunch of one stuff. Will be kind of interesting if this is your only village. If you like have to trash golds for 6 actions and then yeah, it will be really hard to use it like this because you have to rely on that in the opening, but maybe not. Yeah, +1 coin per 1 it costs is like good for the earlier states, I guess. And then, of course, depending what the favor does. I'm not sure if you can keep the favor tokens or if you have to do them right away. So let's go on with the text. Don't know, a bit higher. Okay. Now he explains that underling is as straightforward as it gets. It's a cantrip that gives you a favor token. If you want a bunch of favor tokens, underling is here for you. bauble is the treasure version of pawn. You never knew you wanted. The last option is that whole bit about getting to top deck cards. You can pick any two options, and that's one of them. Oh, so the last one is also one of the options. Okay, so it's not like you always get this. You can pick it once if you have multiple baubles, and then you have it for your turn. Or you never pick it if you don't even think you need it, and then you instead get the buy or something. That's cool. That makes it a bit weaker, but I thought it would be a bit strong otherwise. And one of them is a favor, and the broker is a combination of apprentice salvager, other things you never knew you wanted. It can make a lot of favors at once when you want that. So I guess the favors need to be executed immediately or something. No, it was about there were tokens involved, right? Um, well, that's all well and good, but what are the allies like? Here are 5 of them. Okay, now we get into the important stuff, right? So still didn't know you can keep the tokens, right? Let's just hop right into the allies. Get the image a bit bigger. Okay. Cave Dwellers. At the start of your turn, you may spend a favor. Okay, that's where you spend them, and only at the start of turns. A favor to discard a card, then draw a card. Repeat as desired. So that's not like any project we already have. That's a bit better because you get to cycle through the deck with it, and you first discard, then you draw. Yeah, so that will be pretty useful if you have some tokens to get the hand you want at the start of your turn. Can discard tunnels, can discard Faithful Hound, and then I guess you also get them right back with Faithful Hound, or get them back at the after executing Cave Dwellers, or maybe even you can choose. No, you have to repeat it then. Okay, you can get them back at the end of Cave Dwellers. Coastal Haven. When discarding your hand in cleanup, you may spend any number of favors to keep that many cards in your hand for next turn. You still draw 5. Okay, so you can keep cards you haven't used. That's like the save, but you can use it on multiple cards per turn. So if you have like 5 favors, you can keep your whole hand. Well, you can keep 5 cards and still draw 5, so you have your next hand with 10 cards, depending how many favors you have and how many you want to use. But that's pretty cool. Peaceful Cult. At the start of your buy phase, you may spend any number of favors to trash that many cards from your hand. So you can use the favors at the start of the buy phase to trash. That's like the favor turns every liaison turns into favor. Turns into a treasure. And you can use that whenever you want, when you have the cards you want to trash in your hand. That's neat. Especially the cantrip one. How much did that cost? I think just 4. Plateau Shepherds. When scoring, pair up your favors with cards you have costing 2. For 2 victory points per pair. Okay, so here you can, that's like, because the Shepherd also had the, how was it called? The victory coin that makes your estates worth more. Here also the estates are worth more at the end, but also other cards that are costing 2. And you can make them worth 2 coins if you have the favors at the end of the game. So also favors can be used for scoring. That would be kind of interesting if that's an alternative victory condition. But it's a bit, I mean, you can only pair them. It depends how many favors and how many 2-cost cards you have. Sometimes, I guess, if there are a lot of useful 2-costs, that can be quite a bunch of points. And League of Bankers. Oh, I hope you had that there. At the start of your buy phase, +1 coin per 4 favors you have. Okay, here you don't spend the favors, and that makes keeping favors or having a lot of favors very valuable over the course of the game. Can, if with the cantrip one, let's go back to here. That was a 3 only, okay. It's only a 3 cost, but though that makes you able to stockpile a lot of favors. I don't think they have a limit. So if you play 4 times 8 favors, for example, that's if you play this underling 32 times, you get a free province or free 8 coins, but of course you don't need 8 coins every turn. To buy a province, you can get that province with a lot less. Oh, here, League of Bankers. Yeah, depends how good the liaison card is, how easy it is to stack up those favors, and then you can get a lot of plus coin every turn. Oh, 2 more cards. Ooh, more cards. So let's say the game has underling in it, you turn over an ally, it's Cave Dwellers. This game you can get favors with underlings. You can use them to discard, draw repeatedly at the start of your turn. Oh, I even forgot that you can have multiple of those cards, but only one ally. So with a lot of liaisons, League of Banks gets even stronger, as most cards will probably get stronger. Most of those allies. No, wait, there's one more thing. You start the game with a favor token. Oh, so you always have one favor token at the start. That's cool. So you can at least, even if the liaison card is terrible in the kingdom, can at least use the ally effect once. Nice. I like that. Even at the start of the turn, or the start of the first turn maybe. You still get to do a little something, except with allies that cost more than one favor to do anything. Cave Dwellers lets you filter. Coastal Haven saves a card for next turn. Peaceful Cold Trashes. Those are pretty simple. Plateau Shepherd is like a landmark. It lets you score for having a bunch of 2s, but you need to pair them with favors. And League of Bankers doesn't let you spend favors, you just amass them and get plus dollar, plus coin every turn based on how many you have. Cards will be playable online at Dominion.games. Yeah, looking forward to that. I will also, I think, make a few videos with new cards. That will be fun. Probably, but probably in German. So, if you are capable of talking German or understanding it, you can watch. But soon afterwards, take your time to savor these words. It will all work out. Maybe not exactly when this is posted, but soon afterwards. Okay, yeah, sure. So pretty soon we will get to play the previews on Dominion Online. In the same way we've done them the last few expansions. 3 Kingdom cards, that's not enough. Let's have 2 more. Oh yeah. Okay, Hunter. +1 action. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. From those cards, put an action, a treasure, and a victory card into your hand. Discard the rest. 5 cost. It possibly is a +1 action +3 cards draw. At the very least, it draws you 1 card. It's if you don't reveal 3 curses, and you get to choose the best of them. That's already great. In a deck that's a mix between actions and treasures, and obviously sometimes you already have some victory cards in it. That's great. But I mean, if the deck only has action cards, really, then that's like a more expensive version of Border Guard. Obviously, then it's not that great, but it's also a decent starting card because then you usually have a few estates and a lot of coppers left, and you're really searching for those actions. And in a good draw, you can find the action. If you don't find the action, at least you discard the treasures or estates. So pretty powerful in the start of the game, and then it depends how your deck is built. But I think it will stay useful the whole game. And Skirmisher. Action attack, 5 cost as well, +1 card, +1 action, +1 coin, so a cantrip attack. This turn, when you gain an attack card, each other player discards down to 3 cards in hand. Okay, so that makes you want to gain more skirmishers or other attacks. Otherwise it does nothing. But I mean, skirmisher is at least like a treasury poacher kind of effect, always kind of useful. I can see a lot of turns where all you want to do is buy another skirmisher after playing a skirmisher. Um, yeah, pretty simple, straightforward, but an interesting way to make an attack dependent to gain something afterwards. And then you get the militia kind of effect. That's all now, right? Hunter is a lab that gets you a varying number of cards based on type. I really like Hunter. Really will looking forward to playing with Hunter decks. Skirmisher militias people, but only when more attacks are coming in, which of course can be more skirmishes or some other attack. Oh, also with Skirmisher at some point you won't be able to attack anymore, so maybe the militia attacks will end at some point. So there's a preview, and there will be more previews with cards playable online through Friday. Great. So thanks a lot for watching. Looking forward to playing with those previews, and um, yeah, have fun with the next previews tomorrow, or join in again. Thanks for watching again. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to. That would be very grateful. Or no, I would be very grateful for that. So thanks a lot and goodbye.